afternoon, everyone. Welcome to SHEDWARS. I'm Geraldine, and I do apologise if I'm looking a bit sweaty, but I've been working in the garden. I've been milking the goats, and it's hot and muggy here. Very humid. But today's video is a special SHEDWARS video where I'm wanting to give some tips on growing in a drought. Now, a drought is not something we're in at the moment. At the moment, we're inundated with water. Which is fantastic, but this area has been very prone to drought, and I'm wanting to get it so that it's prepared for drought. So what I've done here is I've planted in layers. So we've got mint and Elysium as my ground cover, so that's going to work to hold in moisture and keep that ground cooler. Then I've got cucumber here, which is going to be my vine layer. I've got hydrangea here. It's pretty. It's going to attract the bees. It's going to be my bush layer. And then I've got my Pella, which is my Queensland tree spinach. And I'm going to do a video solely on the Queensland tree spinach one of these days, because it is an amazing plant. At the moment, this one's a bit sad because I've only just transplanted it in here. But this is going to act as my canopy layer for this little area, because it's only a fairly small area of my property. It doesn't get a lot of sun. It only gets sun in the middle of the day. So other than that, it's very sheltered. But my hydrangeas have been really suffering. Like, you can't tell at the moment because they've been getting lots of rain over the last few days. But this one nearly died so many times because of the heat, and it needed to have that covering. And that is something that is really, really important, because hydrangea doesn't like a lot of sun. Neither does my Monstera delicio, so the fruit salad plant. And I'm going to be planting a lot more of my Pella along here, and I'm going to take that vine out because I don't like it. It takes over, it fills the gutter up with leaves. It's just a horrible plant. It does have a pretty flower, but other than that, it doesn't serve any useful purpose. At the moment, it does create shade, but I've got cucumbers growing in here as well. So they're going to create a bit of shade. Plus, I'm going to plant more Pella. So more food crops, which is fantastic. So it's not, I can't say this is a full food forest area. And my plants over here that are supposed to be planted to prevent mosquitoes attacking me are not really working. I've got to come along and shake it a bit to get the citronella out so that I get protected from the mosquitoes, because they're rather vicious at the moment. My lemongrass is doing really well. Got my lavender in there. So I need to plant some of the Pella along here as well to create shade. The lavender doesn't need it, and neither does the citronella or anything along this end. But I will be transitioning these to other plants at some point. So layers. You don't necessarily need to just have one plant in one area. This has got multiple plants in the same area. I could also put some elderberry here as well. It's a fairly small area, but the elderberry tree could get a bit big too, so I don't want to do that. Whereas the Pella, I'm happy to just chop it back whenever I need to, which I could do with the elderberry too. No, I'm not putting elderberry here. I'll stick with the Pella, because the Pella is very easy to manage. You can chop it back and it'll regrow. So this is actually grown from a cutting, and I've had it in the aquaponics for a while. These new shoots here weren't here when I put it in. These leaves up the top have all died off, but that's okay. That's okay. Pella's a very hardy plant. So it's called, it has a number of names: Pella, tree spinach, Queensland spinach, and that sort of stuff. So it is acting as my canopy layer, and it will create a lovely canopy here to protect all the plants underneath. And that'll create a really nice environment. So you'll have, how many layers is that? You've got the mint is your ground cover. You've got your cucumber as a vine, mosquito. The hydrangea is a bush. And then you've got the Pella is the tree, or it's part of the canopy layer. For this, generally a canopy layer would be a much bigger tree than that, but in this situation, I've got 4 layers going up. So yeah, so that's my tip on growing in a drought. So this little area is just doing fantastically. I've been working on this for 12 months now, adding organic matter to it, adding nutrients to it with horse manure, cow manure, goat manure, chicken manure, and that sort of thing. And it is just doing really, really well. And it's really loving all this rain. But it's doing fantastically. I've got my herbs. I'm more than happy for the mint to go nuts here. I've got multiple different types of mint. So I've got chocolate mint here. I've got normal garden mint here. I've got oregano down here, which is part of the mint family as well as some echinacea flowers. And then I've got lemon balm here. So they're all part of the mint family. Oh, the echinacea's not, but... So yes, I need to trim that down. It's gotten weighed down with all the rain. But yeah, so I need to take this horrible vine down, which is not doing anything. Well, at the moment it's creating shade for these plants, and some of them really need some more sun. So the cucumber desperately needs some more sun, so that it'll grow up nicely. And once I've taken these out, I'll put some pella in here, and it'll do really, really well. And this spot will be great at attracting beneficial insects with all the lovely little flowers, as well as producing an abundance of food, hopefully. So yeah, so remember to like and subscribe to the channel to see how this system goes. At the moment I've got that tied up with a bit of baling twine just to keep it upright. It does have a very decent root system on that. But yeah, so that is my SHEDWARS 22 for the Southern Hemisphere tip. Have a great one. And remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out all the other channels that are in SHEDWARS 22 Southern Hemisphere. I'll leave a few playlists around the place, one down there, one down there, up there, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, check it out. And remember, you're either ripe and rotting or you're green and growing. Have a great one. Bless you.